Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin for Sunday, November. I believe it's the 18th. I never know what day it is. It's amazing how I do that. Wow, 19th. Excellent. For Sunday, November 19th, I am, of course, your host, Tone Vase. And I kept trying to put out a traditional market video for the last 3 or 4 days. Life keeps getting in the way. I haven't even been tweeting much, and the little bit of time that I've had free, it seems to be dominated by, by all this Bitfinex and Tether talk. Though I got myself into that mess, so I guess I'm stuck in it for a while. I'm not really going to focus on that today. I mean, maybe during Q&A if you guys want. I guess I think I've said enough on it as it is, but yeah, this is once again going to be straight Bitcoin. Maybe even later tonight, I'm going to put out a traditional markets video. I am going to try to completely separate the two series. And I know everyone wants to hear about Bitcoin. It's amazing. I get home and like the schedule potentially is even busier, and also family, family duties and responsibilities when I'm home also get in the way. All right, let's go straight to screen share. I also should be doing these videos every day. I kind of want to, I guess I want to grow my following. I don't really want to lose it. But yes, so once again, if you are new to trading, if you are new to my channel, please, I beg you guys, go to my website, Liberty Life Trail, go to the educational tools, go to Learn Trading, and please be very familiar with all of it. If you have trading experience, none of it should be new to you except Section 6. Section 6 is new to most traders because it talks about time indicators. Okay, time indicators, and that's kind of what I focus on these days. I guess it's my little niche in the space, and I'll talk about it more a little bit later. My seminar in Toronto is filling up. I should probably refresh this. There's not 10 seats left. I think we're down to like about 5 or 6 seats. There, I have it as 7, but the Toronto venue is filling up. People are already asking me about the Singapore, Mexico, and South Africa. I have no information for it yet. Let me at least fill out the Toronto one. It will probably be sold out by end of next week, and then I'll start at least prepping for the next set of educational videos. I do try to make this channel as much about you learning how to be your own trader than you following somebody else's trades. That's all I'm really about. I don't really want people following my trading, so because like I don't charge for that. Like I don't have a newsletter. I don't have a group. I mean, I have groups, but they're just like for people that actually hired me as a consultant. But anyway, I don't want to be a leader in having you guys follow my trades. And I am a trader. I mean, I trade traditional markets. I just don't talk about the stuff that I trade because I don't want people following me in my trades. All right. Here's the weekly chart. We can, you know what? Let's look at the monthly chart for a minute. Okay. Here's the monthly chart, and here's the thing. So I've been MIA the last 48 hours a little bit. One of the things that I've been focused on, and not by myself, I do have help from professional programmers, is updating the indicators. So let's put those up. They're new and improved. They're not final yet. I need another week. So those of you that have been clients of mine that get these indicators, I will send you the update. This is why you're in the groups. You'll get it. You'll probably get it sometime next week. There's a few more tweaks, but you'll see this blue line showed up. This letter I showed up. These are additional features of the indicator, making it way more advanced than the original version, because I didn't actually think this would take off. But now that it's becoming serious, I need to make it, I need to make sure that it's perfect and it follows the textbook and it follows the original design. Even though there are still some differences, but I'm still working on it. Okay, but changes are coming in, and I'll send you guys the new files. Those of you that have been my clients soon enough. All right. So, what are we looking at on the monthly chart? So, Bitcoin is toppy here, and we might be looking at another blow off top. Now, where is this top going to come in from? It's hard to say. We're going up. We're now at about 8,000. We're still rising, and we can continue to rise. But I take these nines with the green arrows seriously. Okay, like this one here. 1 month later, we had a bit of a pullback, a little bit of a scare. Um, Same thing here. The following month, we had a little bit of a pullback, a bit of a scare, and now we're still on a 9. So let's get out of this month and let's see what happens, because I still think that Bitcoin continues to go up a little too fast and a little too far. Now, of course, Bitcoin isn't a normal asset, so we're expecting it to go up. We're still below a historical trend line, even though this trend line is on a logarithmic scale. This trend line, we're getting close to it. We're getting close. I mean, on January 1st of this year, the trend line sits at $2,100. Sorry, $21,000, right? So you never know. But here's the thing, though, right? I don't see adoption. I really, really don't. Like, I don't see mass adoption. I see mass speculation, but I don't see mass adoption, right? I mean, the Square Cash thing could be helpful, but the masses aren't running. I mean, I'm still arguing with family members why Bitcoin's important, and I stopped. I stopped telling friends and family about Bitcoin like a year and a half ago. I'm stopped. Like I don't bring it up. Well, like I'll be at the Thanksgiving table, and I know we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, but I know I'm not going to be the one bringing up the topic. Like I don't care if it's $10,000 by Thursday, right? I'm not talking about it. But someone at the table is going to raise the topic, and then I'm going to be arguing over why it's important. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be dealing with the same issues, all right? But so it can go up, but you gotta understand, like it's one thing to be trading and profiting from the trades. It's one thing to be happy about Bitcoin, but you have to be realistic about the situation. The situation is that all of this value that's going into Bitcoin, it's all speculation. It's not exactly common day usage, and it's not adoption. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with speculation. But if it's 90% speculation, that means that speculation can be, spooked, and that speculation can panic. Okay. And the more underlying adoption we have, the more underlying fundamentals it has, and the less likely the masses are to panicking in the speculation realm. Okay. So I just want people to understand that even though we could go to 100,000 within the next 12 months, that's not the bet that I'm willing to make. Let's put it that way. Okay. So, but I'm a holder of Bitcoin. I don't trade it, mostly because I don't trust exchanges. I actually can't wait for the CME futures, because then I'll be trading them. Though it sounds like my broker, Interactive Brokers, isn't very happy about listing those CME futures. All right. Anyway, let's get to the price. So the monthly look, I mean, as long as we have a month with a red arrow on it, I'm a little hesitant. I'm a little hesitant to go all in here, right? We've gone up a lot, and I was screaming buy Bitcoin when people were fearful during the early days of the hard fork. The first half of the year, I was a raging, screaming Bitcoin bull, but not at these levels. Not at these levels. Okay. At these levels, I am not screaming buy. Now, it has its bullish sides, but I am not screaming buy here, because we've gone up a lot and we haven't really corrected. We haven't really corrected, and Bitcoin historically corrects. Okay. All right. So I do need to point out, until I continue to update this indicator, that you're not supposed to, according to Wall Street, you're not supposed to have a green 1 after a green 9. So it's supposed to skip a candle. I don't do that, but they do. Okay. So that also means that this candle should have been skipped, and this 9 should have came one candle later. That also means that this candle would have been skipped, and the 1 would have been here, putting us on a 7. That's the difference, right? But over here, you see how there was a color flip? So at this moment, I'm perfectly in line with the Wall Street indicator. And at this point, I'm perfectly in line with the Wall Street indicator. This is where I start to go a little bit ahead with my version of the code. I just want to make that clear. All right, so on a monthly chart, not much. All I have here is that we're in a topping stage, but like nobody knows where this top's going to come. So all we can do is guess as to how high we can go. Here's the weekly chart. So the weekly chart, even though, we had a big dip that I expected to be a little bit more of a dip, the weekly chart remains bullish. And this green line that I have drawn basically puts us in for a new all-time high for additional breakouts. So if you are trading this indicator, this is the time to potentially jump back in, even though it's a little bit risky. Okay. Trying to figure out what that line is and where it's coming from. I'm not sure what that is. Where did that come from? Oh, interesting. I don't recall seeing that blue line but anyway, it doesn't hurt anything. I guess that just connects the closing numbers. I got to figure out what that is. Anyway, like I said, improvements are being made, still a little buggy. Okay. And this line is known as TD risk, and this dotted line is known as TDST. And they're now in there, and this I is known as the intersection. So, like I said, putting in additional details on this indicator that clients will receive if you are in, chat groups of my clients once I finish the changes, which is probably coming over the next week or so. Okay, still a work in progress here, but always updating. And these are the rules. So in my articles, there's in section 6 math rules. Okay, so check that out. So all of these rules have now been programmed, okay, including the intersection. Okay, it's a work in progress though. All right, so here's the weekly chart. So what are we looking for now in the weekly chart? Well, we're looking for another 9, right? So if we get a 9 on a weekly chart, that could be another potential take profit. So where can the 9 come? Well, it can come anywhere, right? It can come at the current level. It can come at a future level. That's a good question. I'm gonna, you know what? If a question comes in with a tip, I will answer it because otherwise I'll forget it and I'll lose it. But if a question comes in with a tip, it gets highlighted and I can see it. Okay, so I'll answer you, Julio, in 1 minute. Okay, so basically, I'm looking for a 9 weekly, right? So now I'm bullish. I have to be bullish, right? I mean, I'll talk about it on the daily chart. Okay, so people are asking to make my website more safe because it doesn't have an SSL certificate. Guys, there's nothing on my website. It's just literally text. It's text and links to other blogs. Fine. I'll need to put an SSL certificate on it, right? But there's nothing there, right? There's nothing to download here, right? There's like it's literally just you open it and you read it, right? I mean, there's there's nothing really there. Anyway. All right. So I'm looking for another 9, right? So today's Sunday. So in about 2 hours, we're going to start a brand new week. There's no reversal candle here. So I'm bullish for 2 more weeks now, right? At this point, I have to be. So I have to be bullish for 2 more weeks. Can we get to 10,000? Of course we can. But I have no idea how high we're going to go. All right, that's the weekly chart. Let's go to the daily chart. Okay. Here's the daily chart. Again, you can see improvements of this indicator where you have the, this is known as TD risk, and I'll probably explain that in future videos. This is known as TDST, probably explain that in future videos. Or, you know what, guys, you got to do your own homework. Read section 6 of Learn Trading, and you'll understand what these lines are, because they're in the reading material, I think, or in the textbook about the indicator. But I'm trying to make it better. So I already explained, I was looking for 5,000, came up a few $100s short. That's trading. That's what happens. So on the way up, this indicator suggested a buy point right here once the 2 was crossing above the 1. Now I would not have, like I stated publicly, I would not have taken this trade, but I'm not trading your money, guys. You're responsible for your own money. So if you are, but according to this indicator, it said to buy it. I mean, I got a little nervous, didn't scream buy, but other people bought. People make their own decisions, right? So if you bought it at this line, like this indicator suggested, the reason why it suggested a buy is because you had a candle with a green number that started trading above a candle with a prior green number, and then you just go in, and you're still in this trade, and it looks good, right? And this blue line, known as TD risk, so this line actually sets your stop loss on the short trade. Okay, so this is your risk. So if you shorted off of this 9, your risk is a close above this line. Okay, so right now that was your risk. That's like if you were, I mean, in reality, you're setting break evens, right? But otherwise, this is your, this is where this trade says, hey, you're 100% wrong. This is where you should be buying. And the daily is on a 6. So in about 3 days, the daily is going to hit a 9. So what I've been saying is, ever since we came back to the all-time high, I want a clean entry. And I expected us to stay in this range between this yellow line and this green line. And let's see if we can stay in this range long enough to give us a nice clean breakout. Okay. At this point, I'm bullish, but being bullish and having a really good clean trade are two very different things. Okay. I'm a pretty risk averse trader. I like to make sure the odds are on my side before I enter a trade. And I'm still waiting for my perfect trade, but other people are trading, and other people, if you are trading, you should definitely be trading to the upside and not to the downside. All right, so that's pretty much daily. I don't know what else I can say about the daily. See, the hourly one is the one that was kind of bothering me, and I'll tell you why. All right, let me pull up my new indicators. All right, I'm just going to look at the current one. Let's remove the back test. All right, so here's the hour. Here's the 4 hour, right? So the 4 hour, again, yeah, I really like this TD risk line. So the 4 hour gave you a 9 saying, hey, you might have a bearish trade. But then the moment it goes above this line, you're like, oh, I was wrong. That's the problem. Oh, shoot, that was that question. Hold on a second. I knew I forgot to answer a question. Here we go. Julio's question. So here's the question. Can Bitcoin price recover from a Mt. Gox 2.0 if the FBI cracks down on the possible Bitfinex Tether scandal? Well, let's not call it a Bitfinex Tether scandal yet. I have no idea what's going on over there. I really, really don't. Can it recover? Of course, it not only can it recover, it's going to be even stronger, right? Like Bitcoin is way stronger today than it was during the Mt. Gox collapse. Okay, and if there is a Mt. Gox 2.0, not only would Bitcoin recover, it would recover stronger. Okay, so in reality, if there is some kind of a scandal with Tether and Mt. Gox, with Tether and Bitfinex, and I'm not saying there is, or another exchange, right? Or let's say Bitstamp, I don't know, whoever, right? Let's say another huge exchange goes down. Yeah, absolutely, Bitcoin can recover. And the thing is, if there is, Bitfinex people are upset that people are putting them under a microscope. You know what? I don't give a shit. Okay. Here's the thing, though, right? If there is, Bitfinex has been hacked twice, not once, twice. The Winklevi twins haven't been hacked once. Coinbase, they just make stupid decisions on their own. You don't need to hack them, but they haven't been hacked either. Okay, so if you've been hacked once, you lose all like I don't care. Like your opinion is irrelevant to me, right? Like I can spread all the FUD I want about Bitfinex. You got hacked. Your security is shit. You should have shut down your company. You're still with us. And then you got hacked again. Okay, like I don't care that they're upset. I don't care if the people running those companies are upset. Okay, they deserve to be under the microscope. And if there is a single tiny thing out of line, then they need to be held accountable. It's as simple as that, right? I mean, they can file, they can accuse me of spreading FUD all they want. I don't like Bitfinex. I really, really don't. Okay. If your exchange has been hacked, I got a problem with that, right? That means you don't know how to do security and maybe you shouldn't do it. Now, I don't have my Bitcoin with any exchange because I expect them all to be hacked. I mean, this is this is the chicken and egg problem with Bitcoin. Okay, so I have no problem with people putting, asking them for some answers. All right, especially when Tether seems to still have two CEOs. Now you can come out and say our company has two CEOs, but no one seems to be saying anything. So, like, I don't care what their opinion is. All right. If there is some kind of a problem, it needs to be exposed and dealt with the sooner the better. Because 3 days ago, Tether was $600 million market cap. And today I checked and it's $675 million market cap. So at this rate, by New Year's, Tether is $1 billion market cap. Tether is growing faster than Bitcoin by percentage. Okay. So if there is a problem, and there may not be a problem, but to me, it's always a problem, right? Because it's $1 billion sitting somewhere, and to me, it's e-gold. I already explained it on the Bitcoin group, right? Like I think that if the authorities wanted, they can come in and seize that money. Like the reason why Bitcoin is decentralized money is to prevent things like Tether. Things like Tether shouldn't exist. Things like Tether are a major risk because the Tether creates an anonymous token. Governments don't like anonymous tokens. Governments don't like Bitcoin. Governments don't like anonymous tokens. If that anonymous token is backed by gold or silver or US dollars or even seashells, they can show up and they can confiscate it because they can claim that the derivative of that backing is being used for things they don't like it to be used for. And that's it. And your project's done. All right. So I am not happy that Tether is growing. All right. It was at $10 million for like 2 years. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Well, it's just 10 million. Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares when it's 10 million. People start to care when it's $1 billion. All right. So we'll see what happens. Bitcoin will survive. Bitcoin will prove why Bitcoin is Bitcoin and it's not backed by anything. If something happens to Tether. All right, and then I had another one. Hold on, I'm trying to answer some questions with tips. Here we go. Someone says if that's a chessboard behind you, then you trust my judgment. When I turn my camera on, maybe I'll bring the chessboard over. Yes, that's a chessboard. Haven't played chess in a long time. All right, another question. You said BTC and BTH can't coexist. That is 100% correct. I understand the limitation of growing the block size, but for now, BCH could fill the gap before second layer solutions are ready to facilitate high transaction volume. Okay, so um, fine. I'll get back to the price in a minute. Okay, look, the mempool is now 5 megabytes in size. Now I'm using trade block, and I hear trade block does not factor in zero fee transactions, right? So here's another one that's recently been sent to me, which is a pretty neat website. It's in the description of my website, by the way. And it's showing that the mempool is 19,000 in size. Okay, look, this is spam, guys. I'm sorry, this is spam. This is spam. I mean, look, in September, the mempool was empty. It was empty. There's not enough transactions to warrant this massive scaling right now, right? So BCH having bigger block size is totally irrelevant. There isn't enough usage of Bitcoin to need bigger block size. And if everyone starts using SegWit addresses, that's more than enough scaling for another year. We will have Lightning by the time adoption comes. It's just not needed yet. And the biggest problem with BCH is dangerous. It's like, why don't we just go to 2 megabyte block size? Because you can't. You can't force everyone to update the code. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. And the reason they can't coexist is because they use the same mining. They have the same proof of work formula. They use the same miners. So they can't coexist. BCH is just, a bug that's annoying Bitcoin right now, and that bug will eventually get squashed. Okay, but that bug could be joined by other bugs if additional ones are being created, right? Additional hard forks, which they are. All right. Oh, I see Rich. All right, Rich is putting together questions for me. Excellent. So let me just get through the tipped ones, and then I'll let Rich deal with it. Thank you, Rich. No, the CME futures are already approved. They're going to start trading in December. I mean, that's not an if anymore. That's just, you wait for it. All right, here we go. Last question, then I get back to the price. Question from Brian. Does it have to correct if it is S-curve adoption? But it's not. See, that's the thing. Oh, by the way, if you are if you're curious what S-curve adoption means, on my website, again, I know it's probably in the Learn Bitcoin section. I never really filled it out. I just put a couple of videos here like 3 years ago. And one of these videos is from James D'Angelo from back in the day. And it's about the S-curve, why Bitcoin growth is normal. And it's the S-curve video. It's a really, really good video. So I recommend looking at this video if you want to understand what S-curve adoption means. But it's not here yet, right? Like I haven't seen anything like I haven't seen anything resembling S-curve adoption. Maybe S-curve speculation, but not adoption. Very different things. Speculation is very different. When Facebook shot up and made its early investors rich, it didn't have to correct. It never looked back. Yes, I understand that, right? But Facebook had S-curve user adoption to create their profiles, right? I mean, Facebook was getting 1 million new users a day at one point. Bitcoin is not getting 1 million new users a day, guys, and then not even close. All right. No, all this buying is not adoption. All this buying is just speculation that adoption is coming. So I don't see S-curve adoption yet. It's just speculation. And the thing is, it's not even that much speculation. Bitcoin isn't all that liquid. Okay, it's just not that liquid. I mean, the adoption of Bitcoin, the S-curve adoption of Bitcoin might not even show up. I mean, Bitcoin could be like $50,000 a coin and then people will actually start using it, right? So it's hard to say which is driving which right now. All right, let's get back to the price. All right, here's the 4-hour chart. I already talked about the monthly, the daily, and the weekly. So the 4-hour chart just gave you a buy signal, okay, based on this indicator, right? So there you go. So if you're using the 4-hour chart, you just got a buy signal because the current candle started trading above the previous candle that had a green number on it, right? Now, keep in mind, it also happened right here where you see this 3 started trading higher than the 2 right there, right? So these were buy points, right at 7,800, and again right there. Okay, now these are buy points. Now, where do you set your stop loss? Well, that's up to you. You can exit once the color flips, or you can probably set your stop loss, somewhere below the candles, like below these candles, right? And now that if you enter, and this candle is going to flip in about 20 minutes, again, it's up to you. Where do you want to set your stop loss? How conservative do you want to be? You want to set your stop loss below candle 1, or you want to set your stop loss, maybe halfway through candle 1, which is, a little bit below the current candle of entry. It's really up to you. Okay. Now, as far as bigger patterns on this chart, here's where I potentially screwed up by not being diligent enough. I happen to be using Bitstamp for this chart, but if I was using Bitfinex, and I set Bitfinex to the 4-hour chart, you can see that the low came on one of my 9s, because everything here is consistently red, while here, if I turn on backtest, there was one green color, so that kind of set me off. So I missed the 9 here, but it should have been there because every exchange is different. Now, by the way, if the CME if the CME publishes its daily index, real-time index, and TradingView has it, I'm gonna move all of my charts to it. I'm gonna trust the CME. Like I'm gonna trust the CME, and I'm gonna trust that the people that the CME hires are responsible and know what they're doing. And I can't wait for their index to be on TradingView because all of these charts are finally going to be on one price of Bitcoin. Okay, whatever the CME is using. So right now, we do have a countdown going. So the countdown is going to get to 13, hopefully soon. And we have a new setup coming in. Oh, well, this could have been a 4. Sorry, this could have been a 9 on the 4-hour chart, and it was for most of the candle. 9 on here. No, it was also a red 1, right? But it was also a 9 when the candle started. So, yeah, so another point, 1 to 4 candle correction, then back up. And, this countdown's still ongoing. Okay. So, yeah. So the 4-hour chart looks good. But like I said, using the daily chart, oops, that's not the daily. Using the daily chart, I would like to see consolidation here. I want to see consolidation and then a breakout, but the 4-hour chart is bullish. So that's all I can say. The hourly chart is generally useless. However, where this is not my rule on double tops, right? A rule on double tops that they don't hold, and we are going to break out, right? So on the 1-hour chart, what you can do is you can draw a pennant. So you can take one of these, and you can go from here to here to there, like that. Maybe a little higher, something like that, right? And maybe extend it. So that's the hourly chart, right? You have this pennant. If you're not sure how to trade the pennant, Bullish pennant. Midge is a bullish pennant. Looks like this. This guy on the left, right there. There's your bullish pennant, right? You have some consolidation, you break out, you get this pole, you consolidate, and then you break out for another pole. So you go back to here, you have this pole, you can go ahead and grab the range of the pole from the breakout. About 200, almost 300 bucks, right? Let's say 300, right? Again, I'm just following the pictures here. So about 300 bucks up. So that's what you're looking for, right? So you take this, you copy it, you paste it, and you move it. So you're looking at another $300 move, right? So you're looking at a move to 8,300. Mempool is clearing up, right? So your fees should be back to relatively normal. The spam is slowing down, so that's a good thing. That's about it, guys. I'm gonna get to your Q&A now, and I mean, not much room left in my Toronto class. I think it's even less than 7 now. So if you wanted to come to my, it'll probably be, I want to say closer to 7 hours than 4 hours, but I still not sure how many hours I'm renting the room for. But I'm gonna make sure you get your money's worth. And yes, you do get this indicator by signing up for the class, and we are going to talk about it in the class. The class is going to cover this entire learn trading section, and I'll save some room for live Q&A. But basically, it's a day with me teaching people how to trade. I want people to trade their own money. I don't want people following anyone, including myself. I want you to learn how to trade so you can make your own decisions. Okay. All right. Let's get to your Q&A. Thank you for helping out, Rich. Let's do it. Almost 2,000 people watching. I had 2,800 the other day. Man, this is what happens when you don't do videos for a little bit. All right. Hey, thank you for sticking around. Oh, and I guess, hold on a second. Let me stop screen share. And let me do this. I don't have sponsors for the show. But like I said, I do have affiliate codes in the description of my video. If you are going to sign up for TradingView, please use my my affiliate code. And if you use my affiliate code for crypto HW Wallet, you get a 5% discount or a 10% discount. I don't remember. If you're going to get a Cryptomatic, you'll also get a 5% discount. Oh, my watch is upstairs. Damn, I keep forgetting to show it on camera. This is the old model. That one's all sold out. Watch the only documentary I've been in, free on Amazon Prime. I have a discount code for VMO. And One Broker is where I occasionally make my trades with Bitcoin in traditional markets. But be very careful. It's an anonymous exchange. So your Bitcoin is at risk. All right. So that's another affiliate code I have. All right. So these are it. These are my affiliate codes. All right. Don't need that anymore. And yeah, no, that's about it. All right, guys, let me stop screen share. Oh, before I get to the questions, the chess set, the person that asked me about it. Hold on. Looks like this. It's Japanese, so it's like samurais and stuff. So it's like that. And like that. So these are your castles. These like fancy chess sets, they're very difficult to play because they're distracting, and the pieces are like too different and too similar at the same time, if that makes sense. And then since I'm next to my chess set, I was a geologist before I got to, finance and Wall Street and stuff. It's the best crystal I found. Found this one in Utah back when I was doing geological digs. All right. All right, now we can do Q&A. All right, what do you got for me, Rich? I'm going to put it up here. So I'm kind of looking at the camera. Got like 3 monitors. Sometimes I miss being home for the convenience of technology purposes. All right, let's see. The Square app seems like an easy way to buy and sell Bitcoin and will bring in more users. What are your thoughts on the Square app? Let's see. Look, I want people to hold out to learn how to be responsible for their own Bitcoin. So let's hope the Square app gives them the option to take the Bitcoin, and just store it. So hope that happens. Yeah, Square app should help. Hope it helps bring more adoption. All right, I think I already answered the BTC BTH question. Is it safe to use BTC addresses that start with 1? Of course, I still use them. Of course it is. Addresses that start with 3 are multi-sig, and I believe they're also SegWit. I haven't even converted all my Bitcoin to SegWit. I mean, I consolidated my Bitcoin for the 2x fork. Then I got scammed by Jeff Garzik, and he didn't give me my extra coins, though it would have been hilarious considering what a clown code that was, considering it failed before the fork anyway. But I haven't had time to unconsolidate my Bitcoin, and when I do that, I'm gonna move it over to a SegWit address. Also, my on-the-go wallet is still Airbits, and they don't have SegWit yet, so I gotta move my stuff to a new address. But yeah, Bitcoin addresses with the 1 are totally safe. Like I said, I still use them. Next question with a tip. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's the S-curve question. I already answered that also. Why use CME charts when they go to sleep overnight? Okay, that's a good question. No. The futures trading goes to sleep overnight. That's very different. Okay, so let me explain. So the CME futures are going to have their own price. Now, some people think that this price is going to deviate greatly from the underlying price, but that's just not true. Okay, okay, so the CME futures will have its own price. Those CME futures are going to settle. Okay, you know what? Let me go to the CME website. Let me do screen share again. It's a good question. It's a very good question. I want to explain. Okay, so here it is, right? So the CME futures are going to have their own price. Now, the new contract will be cash settled based on the CME CF Bitcoin reference rate, BRR. Open link in new tab. Okay. Now, there is also the CME will also publish the CME Bitcoin real-time index. This is what I was talking about, right? This is what I want. This is what I do. What I want to do my charting on. The CME Bitcoin reference rate and right. Well, okay. So these two take me to the same page. All right. So yeah, it's the same page. All right. So they're not being very helpful here. Here they are. They've already published them. I would love to know the methodology though. Here they are. Okay. So here's the difference: Bitcoin reference rate (BRR) and Bitcoin real time index. Okay. So the BRR is going to be published once a day at 4 p.m. I believe it's 4 p.m. Let me see. Well, whenever the future stops trading every day, I believe it's 4 p.m. Eastern time or 5 p.m. Sorry, 5 p.m. Eastern time. I think. Don't hold me to that. Right. So, right. So this updated today. No. Why would it update today? The futures didn't trade today. Today's Sunday. But anyway, this one is going to update once a day. 5 or 6 days a week. It's not going to it shouldn't update on Saturday, but who the hell knows, right? So this is a once a day snapshot for future settlement. This is a real-time index. I don't know if it's every minute, every 30 seconds, every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes. I don't know. Oh, here they are, methodology. Beautiful. That's what I wanted. 1 and 2. It's exactly what I wanted. Okay, good. Good. The real-time index. Perfect. Excellent. What exchanges are they using? All right, so precision is 1 penny. Every second of each day for the entire year, including weekends and holidays. Excellent. So it's updating every second, which is impressive, to say the least. All right, I definitely don't want to go through this on a live air. You're not supposed to do any kind of, you're not supposed to do simple math on live air. I'm certainly not going to do partial differential equations on live air. Anyway, this is what I care about. Okay, so this is what I want to, whoa, where am I going? This is basically what I want to chart. The Bitcoin real-time index from the CME. So let me see if they're pulling it in already. BRTI. I like talking about it. Why don't I check if it exists? Save as CME Bitcoin index. I'm saving the chart. We'll see if it already exists. If not, people should contact TradingView. What was the ticker? BRTI. Perfect. Oh, beautiful. Oh, why is it end of day? What the hell? Oh, that's not helpful. All right, so that sucks. What the hell is that? All right, CME needs to get its shit together. And why is it 730? Oh, what year am I in? Oh yeah, this is not it. I no, this is not the CME version. Obviously, right? Because this is 2016. All right, so that didn't work. BTC USD. Oh, I'm in indexes. No wonder. I should probably be in cryptocurrency. Let's try this again. Okay, so it's not there. BTC USD. Anybody see CME here? No. All right. So anyway, so I hope that that TradingView imports this index. I don't have time to ask them, but I have 2,000 people watching, so I'm sure somebody will sooner or later, right? Because this is what I want to graph for multiple reasons. One is because this is going to become the standard on Wall Street, and two, there's a future settlement on this, and three, I think they're actually going to hire very professional index experts to get this right. Okay, and so there you go. So, and this is updating every second according to their spec, and that's what I want to use. Okay, for my one and only Bitcoin price, finally, Jesus, after like 3 years of like 4 years of hell of doing all this charting. All right, that's a very winded answer to a somewhat of a simple question. Um, yeah. So yeah, this trades every second of every day. All right, stopping screen share. Back to questions. Do you realize CME is using only $25 ticks for Bitcoin? Where do you see that? Um, I didn't know that. I haven't seen the spec. I haven't seen the Bitcoin future spec. Hold on. CME future Bitcoin spec. I haven't seen it yet. Bitcoin future contract specs. Okay, so here it is. Trading hours. Right, till 5 p.m. Eastern time. So it closes till 5 p.m. Well, it has a 15-minute hold, but it settles at 5 p.m. That's weird. Shouldn't the hold be at this point? I gotta find out when the settlement is. Oh, I see it. $5 index points, which is $25. Um, yeah, that's fine actually. That's actually fine, right? So they're trying to standardize the contract. Okay, so people are so new to futures trading, guys. Okay, so the S&P 500 futures are trade at 25-cent ticks. Gold, I believe. What's the gold spec? I know silver trades at a penny and oil trades at a penny. CME gold future spec. And I haven't. That's the E-mini gold. No, I want the big boy. Contract spec. 10 cents, right? So gold trades at 10 cents. Okay. So yeah, so it's going to trade at 25 bucks. That's fine, right? So that means the future, the price of the future will fluctuate by I mean they're saying 5 points equals 25, so that means that it's going to be priced at like 5-to-1 ratio, right? So here's what that means. Trying to explain futures contracts here. Man. Oh wait, I'm not sharing screen. Damn it. Hold on. I know. All right, here's your CME gold. And minimum price fluctuations is 10 cents. And the S&P 500 E-mini, right? So so the S&P E-mini is 25 cents. If my memory serves me right, there it is. 25 cents, which is $12.50, right? So, man, trying to explain that. So basically, when you buy one, I haven't traded them in a while, man. When you buy one E-mini, that's an E-mini, right? If I go for the big boy, if I go for the, okay, so contract units, $50, right? Times the S&P 500, right? So it's literally trading at a huge leverage, right? Um, this is why I used to like trading them two at a time for simplicity. Okay. So what that means is that $1 move, $1 move um, in the S&P 500 is a $50 move in your contract. Okay. So, I mean, once you start trading this stuff, you're going to understand how the risk fluctuates. Okay. It's kind of hard for me to explain it on air, right? Now, for simplicity purposes, I used to trade two S&P 500 contracts at a time. So what that means is when I used to buy two contracts, my broker would take $10,000 and it would set it aside into margin from my account. From that point forward, right, every dollar move in the S&P 500 index was a $100 move in my portfolio. Okay, because I traded two contracts, and so every quarter of a move, every 25-cent move of the S&P 500 was $25. So that means a $1 move, a 1-point move in the S&P 500, which currently trades at $2,000, would equal $100. Okay. So now let's go to Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin? Here's the Bitcoin spec, right? So Bitcoin would literally move. Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin, for simplicity, let's say Bitcoin is $10,000, right, per Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is $10,000, okay? Contract unit is 5 index points, okay? That's a little weird. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I can tell you what this means, right? This doesn't make sense to me. I guess it's the same as this. So they haven't told you what the leverage is. I can guess the leverage from this based on my experience of gold, oil, and S&P 500 from the same organization. But what that means is that in the futures contracts, in the price of the futures, not the price of the not the price of the index, right? Not the price of this. Wait, where am I here? Did I already move it? Not the price of the CME real-time index. The CME real-time index is going to change by a penny. But the price of the futures, remember there's 3 prices, right? This is the question. Oh man, I sound like a schizophrenic because this shit is hard to explain. You kind of just trade. It's really hard to explain it all, even though it's all in my head, and I'm trying to break it down for the layman's guy. So I also didn't really prepare to talk about this. So basically, there is the price of the future, the settlement price that's going to show up once a day, and the real-time index that updates every second to the penny. So we're talking about the price of the future. The price of the future will only update in 5-point increments. Okay? So if you buy the future at exactly $10,000 per Bitcoin, okay, the price of the future will only change to $10,005 or $10,095, right? Because remember, you're buying a contract to be executed in the future. It doesn't need to be to the penny, right? You're speculating will the price of Bitcoin close? And remember, the futures are going to expire every month. Okay, futures are going to expire every month, and they're going to give you some way out of long dated futures, right? But the future is going to expire every month. So what you're doing is you're making a bet against the price of the future, of the price of Bitcoin, like at least several weeks out. And you're not going to, and it's fine. They're just going to give you, their ticks are going to be $5. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Now, what does this mean? Why does this equal $25? Now, this tells me that the leverage is 5-to-1. Okay. This tells me that the leverage is 5-to-1. Okay. Which is a lot smaller than the leverage on the S&P 500 futures, right? Because remember, the S&P 500 futures are changing by a quarter, and the move is 1250, right? So you can do the math, right? So the S&P 500 contract has to move by 50 cents, and the move to your portfolio would be $25. So this means that the leverage on the S&P 500 future is 10 times bigger than the leverage on the Bitcoin future. So the Bitcoin futures contract is 10 times less leveraged than the future on the S&P 500, the E-mini future, right? The big boy is 5 times bigger, right? So the regular S&P 500 future, not the mini, is equivalent to 5 mini futures. So so there you go. So this is half as leveraged as the standard S&P 500 future, but most of the volume is in the E-mini futures, not the regular S&P futures. Wow, that was a long-winded answer, but I'm glad I learned this information myself. So hopefully this made sense to people. This I don't understand. I expected it to be more in the S&P 500 notation as X amount of dollars per S&P 500 index. So I'm a little confused as to what this is at the moment. But it seems like so there you go. So do the math, right? So that means $5 move in the future is a $25 move to your portfolio. So buying one future contract is basically like buying 5 Bitcoins. So each futures contract is going to be 5 Bitcoins worth of leverage. So it's 5x leverage on this contract. All right. I lost like 300 people with this explanation. Beautiful. Good luck trading, guys. Like this should have been like the one thing that people should be sticking around for if you intend on trading the future. My explanation of the leverage is probably not something you should have missed. All right, next question. If I send Bitcoin to Bitfinex, sell at the all-time high for USD Tether, it means they printed the Tether. I don't know. I don't know what it means. Maybe yes. Not but magic, but backed money, right? Okay, so guys, I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on there, right? Like to me, Tether is insane. Like, look, you take a bunch of money, you put it in the bank, and you create tokens out of it, and then anyone can trade these tokens. Great. How the hell did Tether go from 10 million on January 1st to 700 million today? Well, that means $690 million that got placed into the bank. So where's this money coming from? Well, let's see. Bitfinex itself is a profitable company, supposedly. They can take all of their profits and they can turn them all into Tether. And then they own the Tether. So if you sell them the Bitcoin, they will sell you Tether. They will sell it for Tether. Now, to me, this is a problem because they still hold the money at the bank. and Tether is an IOU. So I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. Okay. Now, let's say Poloniex, which utilizes Tether, needs more Tether for their liquidity. Poloniex makes money, supposedly. So Poloniex every month, takes a bunch of their profit. Let's say Poloniex made $1 million in the month of October. They take the $1 million, they send the check to Bitfinex/Tether because it sounds like one company. They send them $1 million, and Bitfinex in return gives them $1 million worth of Tether. And now Poloniex has the Tether. Tether is very useful to Poloniex because it allows people to trade on their exchange versus something resembling the US dollar, and Poloniex gets to have more fees. So Poloniex is now holding the Tether, and if you're selling Bitcoin or Ethereum or another shitcoin for USD Tether, Poloniex gives you the Tether that they bought through Bitfinex. So the goal seems to be to put the maximum amount of Tether into circulation. Okay? So here is my problem with this whole scheme. Again, I am taking the position that every single Tether is backed by $1. So if every single Tether is backed by $1, I should go to camera. If assuming that every single Tether is backed by $1, that means somebody is sending Bitfinex tens of millions of dollars every single month. Tens of millions. It feels like $100 million a month. Cumulative, right? Not one entity, right? So every day someone sends, every day someone is sending Bitfinex $1 million on top of the millions that Bitfinex is making. They're putting all of it into one bank account, maybe two, maybe three, and they're creating this Tether token on the Omni layer. Don't even get me started on Omni or Mastercoin or whatever the hell it is. And now Tether is an IOU token. Even though the money is there, it's an IOU token. Now, my problem with this scheme is what happens when the federal government decides that they no longer want Tether in the world or another jurisdiction. Somebody else, the freaking France comes out. France is part of the EU, right? Let's say, I don't know. Let's say China comes out. I don't know, who knows, right? Let's say China comes out. China comes out and says, hey, we don't like Tether. Tether is being used for malicious activity to get money out of China. We want Tether eliminated. How do we do that? Well, we're going to put pressure on the banks, though China is going to have, and let's see, Taiwan and China, they're, not always, they don't always see eye to eye, but China thinks they own Taiwan. So what happens if some government with a big military decides that they don't want Tether in existence? That's a pretty big honeypot of money. They can just go and freeze, right? So this is my problem. This is my overall problem with this project. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is the kind of thing that Bitcoin was supposed to eliminate, not facilitate. Okay? So there you go. And I'm not even going to the conspiracy theory of Tether is not solvent. The money can all be there. Like, I don't care. Like, my problems with it go way beyond that. I'm playing chess here. I'm thinking further ahead. All right, next question. Do you think that the correction could happen in 2 weeks? I don't know. We will have a 9 on weekly, yes. And being still in November, we will still be in a 9 monthly. Yes, this is what I'm looking for, right? Now that I thought we were ready to correct 2 weeks ago, but now we'll wait, right? I'll wait for another set of 9s. I'll wait for a 9 on a daily in 2 days, see what happens. I'll wait for a 9 on weekly in 2 weeks, see what happens. And I'll keep an eye on a monthly. All right, next. When should we start pushing to use bits? After Bitcoin has gone far enough above 10,000 and then had a correction and stayed above 10,000. Like I am pretty damn confident we are no longer going below $1,000. When I'm confident we're no longer going below $10,000, I will be pushing for bit notation. All right, I got another question. I see it from Greg. Thank you, Greg. Do naked short trades still happen in the gold market? Do you think the CME will tame Bitcoin? Is employed to try to kill BTC with unfunded? Okay. So this idea of naked shorts is really dumb. You're always naked short. Always. The only way to short in the futures market is to be naked. It's the only way to trade. That terminology makes no sense, right? Like there's no such thing as naked short in the futures market. It's just short. Like the word naked comes from the options market. Again, I'm like just educating on derivatives here. If I sell a call option on anything, right? On Apple stock, I sell a call option on Apple stock. And I know a lot of you don't know what that means, but so if I sell a call option on Apple stock, hold on, I'm getting a call. Oh man, I'm supposed to get this call. Hold on one second, I'm gonna mute. All right, guys, I'm back. So yeah, live video, it's what happens. Yeah, this video has gone on a little longer than I expected, so I'm like missing calls here. All right, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, naked shorts. So when you sell a call option on Apple stock, you are saying, okay, you can buy Apple stock from me at a specific price by a specific date. But if you don't have the Apple stock, that's a naked call. That's a naked play. And very often, your broker will not even let you make that trade unless you have a giant margin, right? So that's naked. Same thing with puts. If you sell put contracts and if you sell a put, you're providing the stock. If you don't, selling a put. Okay, so wait a minute. When you buy a put, I'm confusing myself here again. I've been tired, and I trade options too. I don't go naked in the options market. I always hedge. So I always hedge with other options. So I always do spread trading. Okay, but so when you sell a call, That means someone else can buy the stock from you, but if you don't have the stock, then you're naked. When you sell a put, someone can give you the stock. Okay. So usually what happens is you short the stock first, then you sell a put so that when they're giving you the stock back, they're covering your position. All right. So that's kind of how it works. Now, in the futures market, anytime you sell a futures contract, you're naked by default. It's just how it works. This is why their margin and their day to day margin is updated every day. You're always short, and you can sell as many of these futures as you like, as long as you have the margin, as long as you have the money, and as long as someone on the other side wants to take your position on. That's it. It's not simple. There's no such thing as naked short. It's just short in the futures market. All right. The chat scrolls too fast. I saw a question that began with, "Can someone ask him with tip?" But then I missed the question. So sorry, you might have to repeat that. Rich, are you still with me? Rich isn't with me. All right, I got about 5 more minutes. Let me go to the bottom of the chat. Maybe I can. Yeah, I don't have anyone moderating the chat, so I can't really kick out any scammers or spammers. I got a question. Do you see a marketplace for trading Bitcoins? Wait, I'm supposed to hit the alt button. Do you see a marketplace for trading Bitcoins that haven't been forked? They traded BTC plus all forked coins again. Yeah, probably. Sure. I mean, I still have my Casacious. I still have a Casacious coin. That still has all the forks in it, right? I mean, you'd be crazy to break into it, but I do have a Casacious coin. I mean, I wouldn't sell it for less than like 4 Bitcoin. It's the original with an error coin on it. If anyone interested, shoot me an email. It's the error, the Casacious Series 1 with the error. It's the original batch Casacious coin. It's worth about 4 to 5 Bitcoin with 1 Bitcoin on it with all its forks. The Slack channel that I have bookmarked. Well, it's the general world crypto network, right? It's the. I mean, anyone can join this. I'm not in it much. It's the. You know, it's the general from the World Crypto Network. It has like 150 people in it. Nothing special. And this is oh wait, I didn't do screen share. Ha ha ha. But that's what it was. The World Crypto Network Slack, and I'm also in the Martin Armstrong's World Economic Forum Slack. I haven't been there in like a year. Been too busy. All right. So whoever, I'll ban this guy. How do you ban people? I guess you block them. Yeah, some BitConnect guy just blocked from the chat. Steemit a scam. I dealt with this like a year and a half ago. Just Google tone vase Steemit scam. I mean, I explain it all. Are there other toned vase in here? I gotta ban another tone. I gotta ban. There it is. Guys, I have so many people pretending to be me. It's very frustrating. Like everyone's trying to scam you as me. It's a good time for me to. Anyone else I need to ban? I'm hoping people get banned like permanently. All right, I think I had enough. All right, guys. On this note, I'm just gonna do one final screen share real quick. Just to let you know that my seminar in Toronto is almost sold out. So about 5 to 6 seats left. I don't even think it's 7 anymore. About 5 to 6 seats left. So if you are gonna be in, if you want to attend my teaching people how to trade for themselves seminar on December 9th in Toronto, there you go. It's 0.1 Bitcoins to attend. All right. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm closing out with 1,500 viewers. Maybe late tonight, if not tomorrow, traditional market video. And I'll try to organize these a little better and maybe do them more often and maybe make them shorter. Okay. All right. Hey, thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. And I'll talk to you all next time. Bye bye.